Hi, everyone. I am Trent Gander. I run Trent Gander's copywriting and freelance writing. I have over 20 years of writing experience and 10 to 15 years of experience in the firearms, outdoor, security, and defense industries. I also do general things regarding copywriting as well, from emails, articles, and ads, anything that communicates information from you to your clients. The question becomes, why do you hire a copywriter instead of doing something like a multi-language model like ChatGPT, Claude, all the rest of that stuff? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is your industry. This is where you do all your work, all your stuff. Everything that you do is inside this box. So you have 2 to 3 major things that you do. We'll refer to these as your primary information silos. And these are your bread and butter. This looks a lot worse than it did in my head. Um, but there's also that one thing that you kind of do on the side that you still do. It's still part of your industry, but you don't really know how it fits in. So you just kind of toss it on there on the side. On top of this, you have your primary clients. They only deal with about half of what you do normally. And this kind of leaves a lot of stuff up to interpretation. Yes, they deal with all your stuff, but every so often they'll start chipping away at all the other stuff that you do, and it's not enough for you to have a dedicated frequently asked questions page about it, but it's still kind of there. It makes everything all a little uncomfortable, but you're still helping your clients. Then one day, a group of people show up in your industry and they have an entirely different set of questions about what you're doing because you are the only person within your industry that they have access to. So, despite the fact that all the stuff that you're doing is somewhere over here, they're asking questions about right up over here. And as you're trying to figure out how do I answer these people's questions, they start to expand out and put more pressure on you. So you've got to figure out, okay, what the heck am I doing? And then suddenly you realize that you are in fact in an information desert. You do not know where to give them the sweet water that they desire in this place of drought. A copywriter can come in, help you explain what you do to all these people who want information from you, as well as figuring out where you actually have that nice little pool of information to take from. They can be the guide to this information desert for you and then turn you into the guide for other people. Now, this also comes with a few other things. You can bounce ideas off of them. They can also bring expertise as well as skill in how you communicate these things to each other. And it can have some legal benefits as well, especially since there are some things around certain multi-language models that have intellectual property issues of people just taking things without asking, which is usually known as theft in the industry, and using them to train their stuff. If you don't want to run the risk of somebody down the line being like, hey, so court case happened and everyone who's used this thing is now called into question and all of your stuff is built on that one linchpin of I use this multi-language model for all my things. In order to avoid that, you should probably have a copyright, at least look it over, check it out for you, and I would be happy to help. Comments, questions, all the other stuff.
I'm always looking forward to what you're going to draw for us next time. I just comment. I love the way you use a visual as you're telling the story to really make it clear what a copywriter does. And to your point, there's a lot going on right now with IP and things like this.